Hi everyone, I'm Blaž and this is Abdec, a puzzle book I made. Abdec is a mysterious game, so even me showing you the first 6 puzzles will be spoilery in itself. But don't worry, these will be only the basics. If we start with opening the book, we see that it comes with a plastic sheet on top of which we'll be able to draw. Here is a text that describes this book as a reissue of an old textbook about the writing system of the app creatures. And because this is a scan of the only remaining book in the existence, some pages are missing and some pages are partly burned. And reading the instructions here, we learn that no rules are actually explained and that we must deduce them ourselves. We do this with the tool of unique solutions. Every exercise has a unique solution. Uniqueness of solutions is a way to determine if you have the correct rule set. And we see that we are presented with an alphabet. We know what A is. It is an L shape with 3 blocks. And we know what B is. It is an I shape with 3 blocks. And going forward, we see some lore text that is partly burnt. And the first exercise. Place all assigned shapes into the grid. And we know what A is because we've seen it on this page. And so we deduce the first rule, which is, if we see a letter here, it means we must input it in the grid below. And we will input A. The second thing that we learn is that we can rotate the shapes as much as we like. Going forward, we will try exercise 2. And again, we know what the B shape is, and we see a way to fit it into the grid. And this is only one solution. There is no other way to fit the B in, so we know that this is a correct solution. Exercise 3. Now we have A and B, so an L shape and an I shape. How do we fit them in? This is the exercise that teaches us that shapes can't overlap, because if they would, you could place B here and A here, and A here, or A here, or A here. There are too many solutions for overlapping to be possible. Instead, B goes here, because there's only one place for it, and A now goes here, because this is the only place it can fit now. Abdec is full of such moments where you see something that must be a rule just because it provides a unique solution. Going forward, we see exercise 4, and now we have 4 different letters to input. First, we count how many cells there are, 10, 11, 12. And all 4 letters also amount to 12 spaces. So we know that each cell will be occupied, and this cell can only be occupied by an A. So we input it. If we put an A here, we won't be able to fit anything here, so the next step is putting in the B. Now we have this shape to fill in, and if we do this, of course there won't be a solution. So instead, B goes here, and 8 goes here. And voila, this is a solved puzzle. Exercise 5. We start by looking at this cell here. Because we have only B's, this cell won't ever be filled in, and we cross it out. There are 16 other cells, and we have 5 B's, so this means that only one more cell will be skipped. And we look at this cell right here. What happens if we skip it? Well, we won't ever be able to fill in 5 B's. There will always be a space that the B won't fit in. And so we know that this cell will be filled in with a B. Looking at this cell again, we see that if we skip it, we won't be able to fill in the rest of the grid. So this one also has a B, which forces this B. And the rest of the solution quickly follows. And now we go to exercise 6, which will be the last exercise that I'll show you. This one introduces a new mechanic, which is this element called critters. We have letter A to fit in. And now we have 2 options. Either the letters must overlap the critters or they shouldn't. And if we consider the second option, we see that we have two possible solutions, either this one or this one. So this isn't the rule. The rule is instead that the letters must cover the critter shapes. And there is only one way to do it, right here. Here we saw the uniqueness tool in effect. And if we go a little bit further, we see that there are many more exercises, each introducing a new nuance to the rules. There are also a lot of secrets, like these pages. Or wow, what about this one? I don't want to spoil too much, but be aware, this book goes quite deep. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a great day.